Officer Tatum is not a man, he's a brand. A cheap knockoff stitched together with dollar sign. Sponsorship, fake backbone. Everything he does is performance. He's not chasing justice, he's chasing paper. He doesn't fight for truth, he fights for clicks. Don't blame Israel. Don't blame politics. Don't blame the system. He sold himself, period. He auctioned off his dignity and smiled while signing the receipts. He strut around like a warrior, but he's really a salesman. His battlefield is YouTube. His weapon is outrage. His target is your attention. He called himself bold, but bold men don't bow. Bold men don't cash out their principle for a pat on the head. Bold men don't kneel before paymasters. Tatum's entire rise is the story of compromise. Each check required another piece of his soul, and he handed it over without hesitation. He's the type who lecture others about integrity while living off the crumb of compromise. Hypocrisy isn't a flaw for him. It's his business model. The mask he wears is polished, but cheap masks crack. And when they do, the hollow man behind is exposed for the fraud he is. He is a hollow man, not driven by conviction, not rooted in principle, just blown around by the wind of profit. Israel didn't turn him into a puppet, he volunteered. He slipped the string around his own wrist and then called it strategy. No one forced him to kneel. Nobody threatened him into silence. He bent over willingly because bending keeps the check flowing. Every word out of his mouth is already prepaid. Every take is another receipt of loyalty to whoever signs the contract. The sad part is he thinks people don't notice. He thinks the audience can't smell the rot behind the the grim, but rot stink, and everyone know it. Respect isn't bought, it's earned. But he doesn't care about respect. He traded it in for relevancy, attention for short term shine. And now the price comes due. Because sellouts don't die heroes, they die clowns. The humiliation was written on his face the moment that Israel child spit on him. That spit carried more truth than his entire career. Spit is a raw contempt. It doesn't lie, it doesn't sugarcoat, it doesn't negotiate. It's disgust made visible, and he earned every drop of it. That child said what grown men were too polite to say. You're fake, you're bored, you're nothing but a puppet dancing for scribe. You can wipe the spit, you can clean the stain, but you can't erase the meaning. The world saw it, and once you spit on, you can never come back clean. That moment was vindicated, not just on him as a man, but everything he pretended to stand for. He thought he could play both sides, cash in on controversy, pretend to be principled, and stay untouchable. But spit broke the illusion. Now he's marked, not by critics, not by enemy, but by a child who cut through the fake image with a single gesture. It takes decades to build respect and 1 second to lose it. He lost it without words, but with a spit. That spit was the award, not trophy, not applause, but a reminder that opportunists don't get honored, they get contempt. Officer Tatum is not a leader, not a fighter, not a man of integrity. He is a paper chasing, spit stained opportunist, and the world will remember him for that way. So for me, I don't understand why people are getting all upset in their feeling. Israel did not tie a noose around him. I mean, they are doing their PR stuff, granted. But Tatum, on the other end, being the opportunist that he is, everyone knows that they were looking for frontman, PR people, hype man, whatever you want to call it. Now, if he go line his little self up because he's so thirsty, he's hungry, he's starving, and getting proportion for money over there, and he does that, can you blame them if they got a play? They got a pawn put on the chessboard. Keep in mind, it's geopolitics that they playing here. You know, you may not like the game that they playing. You may not even like the player, but you gotta respect that they're getting all their little ducks in a row because they didn't call that turncoat. I bet you he went out searching for them. I bet you when that stuff came, I bet you he jumped and did a cartwheel. He may have called them within one split second. I think before they even probably hung up the phone, they probably got a redial. It's Tatum. I'm down for it. I'm about that. You know, and that's something that a lot of us realize because he jumped on it so fast that he was an opportunist. And the minute it happened, someone, that said some very outlandish thing toward people that actually look like him, and it just low key always had um, this disdain. And what I thought was very strange was that he was very quintessential Negro in the face and very quintessential Negro in appearance. So I really didn't get what that was all about when he would like take little bites here and there. He'd take a little bite real quick and then he'd blow. But I'm like, okay, okay, that's what you're doing over there. You taking bites? He was like, he'll take a bite and he'll blow, like bite, blow, bite and blow. And then sometimes he'll take a bite and then he try to smooth it out. I would call that's the licking part, and then he'll kiss and then repeat the process. But it seemed like that's what he was trying to do with this situation. And the reason I said that was that the bite part for him in this was the controversial part, and the lick part, I guess, was that check that he went down and licked, while that little boy or that little kid that did the most. I think that kid should be given humanitarian award for that because it was like that kid don't need to sugarcoat anything. That kid was real. Like yo, like what? And the kid did. He was so revoked by his parent, like and spit. And it looked like it hurt him because he brought it up because I didn't get why he was bringing it up. He said the only thing that happened is that a kid had spit on one of the ministers. And let me guess who that minister was. That was him. Because if you bring it up, that means he was the one that was spit on. And anybody black already could read through their little tea leaf of what he was trying to say. He low key trying to encode it to make it appear it was something around him, someone around him that got spit on. We all knew it was his tail that got spit on over there, And I wasn't shocked. I was shocked that he was shocked he got spit on over there. That's what I'm shocked about, And I'm shocked that he's shocked that everybody coming for his rump. I'm shocked that he's shocked about that. That's another thing I'm shocked about. And I'm also shocked that he is shocked that he's not getting all that love on that side, the team he was playing on. He thought he was on the winning team. See, this is what you call working against yourself. Now, they do have official narratives and stuff like that, right? And I want to do a video about what's called an official narrative. And it seems like somehow he didn't get the memo on what the official narrative will be for at least the next 12 years or at least 8 years. It don't look like he was read in. And you could tell he was not read in because he is completely off narrative, Like people talking within a particular clique, a particular base that ain't got nothing to do with his rum. He run his tail. I'm like, and I'm like sitting like, dude, they ain't even talking to you, man. I mean, learn to listen. Do anything that's being said over there will really pertain to you? Like, what do they got some? I'm not gonna lie, they got some nice catchy stuff that they talking about there, man. They got some stuff that could really hook and bait you. But if you sit down and you shut your mouth long enough and listen, you realize whether they're really talking about you or whether they're not. And the older I get, I realize some people don't understand. They listen, but they're not listening. If that makes any sense to you, like they hear them, but they don't really hear them because it's like they're listening to them from like a juvenile aspect or an immature point of view, or from a non-discerning being point of view. They're not listening to them from that. They're not listening to them from the critical thinking part or the analytical part of their brain. They're just not listening to them on that level. They're listening to them carnally. They're listening to them superficial. And I think the superficial part is that we hear a lot of people make it great, make it great, make it great. But make them explain to you what make it great is. Explain the greatness. And what I mean explain the greatness, like really go and give an in-depth speech, like someone that can break this down, like that can ramble on like 30, 50 minutes straight, like just spitting facts and stuff like that, right? Instead of someone just catching on to something, you know. So what happened here, you had a lot of people latching on. And I think he's one of them that latch on. I don't think he was really listening. He was listening, but he wouldn't listen at the level and the dimension he needed to listen to what they were saying. Because this is what happens when you don't really listen, truly listen. Not everybody listen here. And what I mean by that is the ability to truly comprehend what is said. And that is why I decided, I said, let me just shut my mouth up more and do more listening. Because the fact is, I'm realizing a lot of people do not have comprehension of what's being said. They hear these words and they never sit down and pull out a dictionary, see the meanings behind these words. And that's where they get hang up on. They're not able to do an in-depth analysis on what's being said, you know, because for them, they hear like 4 or 5 phrases, but these 4 or 5 phrases, when you actually break down each one of these words, right? For example, if we wanted to look at the word make, if we went to the Oxford dictionary, like Oxford language, the word make is from something by putting parts together, combining substance, uh, construct, create, build, assemble, put together, manufacture, produce, fabricate, create, form, fashion, model, mold, shape, forge, to bring into existence. Okay. And it also, this is what the word make mean. Okay. And then the other word, which is America. America is a term with a dual definition. It can refer to the United States of America, a country primarily in North America, or it can refer to Americas, the continent of North and South America collectively, known as the New World. So they're definitely saying "Make America Great," but I don't think they understand the America part. It has dual meaning to it because they're not listening, and they're definitely not trying to take each one of these words and go break it down and see the true definition of these words. Uh, Make America Great. So we look at the word great, right? So when we're looking at the word great, the definition of an extent, an amount, intensity, considerably above normal or average, of ability, quality, immense, considerably above normal or average, an important or a distinguished person. Okay, excellent, very well. So what I'm saying here, and then we have the word again, right? This is what I'm talking about. They're not listening, and they're not doing research on these words. They're just running around here. And again, another time, once more, returning to a previous position or condition, in addition to what has already been mentioned. So basically, they're saying returning to a previous position or condition. So the question here is they have to ask them what, like, um, it was once more, another time, a new, in addition. So basically, they're not asking, okay, what timeline are you talking about? What previous one are you talking about? Like, again, to where? What timeline are you talking like? Okay, I know that the America part has dual definition. Either they're talking about USA, which is the United States of America, but if they're talking about the Americas, which is America, that would encompass North, South, that would encompass North and South America and even the Caribbeans. Okay. So are they talking about they're going to make this whole Western Hemisphere great? You see what I'm talking about? Or are they just making America great? Because if they're making the whole Western Hemisphere great, then that means that they are going to be the overlord of everything in the Western Hemisphere. You see what I'm saying? They're not listening. They're not listening on a critical level. They're not listening on a high level. For them, those three little words look so simple, but yet no one pulled out their dictionary to look up each one of these words. No one did that. And not only did no one ever did that, you have yet to find someone to make him explain what is he talking about. What's like what timeline are you talking about? Okay, you're gonna make it great. Like, okay, great how? America, defining USA only, or are you talking about the whole Western Hemisphere, or are you just talking about the whole Northern block, which is Canada, you, and Mexico? Are you talking about just the North America block, or are you talking about the whole hemisphere? See, they're not asking these questions. They just love slogans, you know. They love to chant. You know, this is a place that love hype, man. Like hype man, hype man, hype man. Woo! Hype man, hype man. You know, they into hype, man. They into symbolism. They like catchy tunes and stuff like that. But anyway, unfortunately, he loved the hype. He got into it. But for me, and I was like, what you blame Israel for? Israel didn't tie a noose around that damn man's neck. Israel didn't make him do that. I mean, Israel can turn him into a money chasing, attention whore prostitute. He was already like that. They didn't turn him out. Shit, all they did was bought them a pond. Shit, let's call a spade a spade. That's what they're in the business trying to clean their name up. So if they know where there's a spineless, uh, uh, a prostituting, media chasing whore, you know, a slut for attention is that, and they throw a little something at him, and he does all the little dancing and singing. That ain't them. Shit. Everybody already know what they came on the table about. Just like the first time you say, hey, you already know what they about on that side. So if you go that route, I like what in his situation, folks, you gotta look at him. Like, you know, they got their things going on that side, but here, when do the man has to be held accountable? I think he's mad because he's being held accountable for his action because everybody know what they're about. I ain't even trying to touch, but everybody know what they're about that on that side. Like they 10 toe down about what they're about on that side. But him needs to be held accountable for him, Officer Tatum, whoring off his sought attention seeking, controversial, money chasing, spineless, no backbone, no character, no personality, been down. And as a matter of fact, he probably been down a little too far down for them. That's why I'm sure that's why the little kid spit on him. The kid that probably ain't never seen no goddamn body bend down that damn hard on this planet. The kid probably never saw a human being strip their own goddamn self of their human dignity and threw it on the damn floor. That's what the kid was trying to tell the planet, if you ask me. But anyway, and this one, yo, Tatum, you got issues. I mean, we already know what they're about. They're about that. They're about that lifestyle. But in this little instant, you can't even look at them. I'm just gonna keep it down. They're about that lifestyle, man. What lifestyle are you about? See, that's the difference between you and them. Lifestyle. They got a particular mission. They stay 10 toe down on what they about. You is a whole different thing. You mad because the people are holding you accountable. Don't even look that way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, life is a game, right? If it's a game, they playing their part, homie. What you mad at them for? And then you expect everybody to come and run and bring you water? Bring you water for what? Put out a fire. A fire that's self-made? You have a self-made, engineered fire that you created yourself. And you're screaming and yo, let me leave this alone because let me just go ahead and leave this alone because the reason I'm gonna leave this alone because they're about a particular lifestyle and it's kind of effed up because it's 10 toe down as they are on that side of town. You can't even blame them when a grown man throw goddamn gas on himself and burn his damn self up in front of the world on the world stage. That's very hubris to me. You can't even look at them. That's some dark ass shit. You can't even look at them. It's crazy. Everybody know what they're about. The whole planet knew what they were doing. They didn't make it no. It was no secret what they were trying to do over there. But the fact you run over there and now you mad because you being held accountable for your own goddamn action, and then you mad because you're not getting loved the way you thought you would have gotten some love here. Make it make sense here, y'all. But anyway, my name is Manushka Jessica, host of Luco T Podcast. Please like and subscribe. Remember, it doesn't cost you anything to like, and it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Okay. And if you really like what I'm talking about, you can subscribe and also turn on the notification. But you don't have to turn on the notification. You can just simply like, and you can simply like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening to Luco T Podcast. My name is Manushka Jessica, host of Luco T Podcast. And this one right here, woo-wee, this is one of these situations where you can't even look at them folks because they ain't even to blame for that. Could you imagine that? Who would have thought? Tatum got a whole self-made, inflicted wound that he can't even look at Israel. Whew, that's deep. That's deep, man. That's something people really need to think about. Think about how we out on these streets trying to really do what we doing. We got to have integrity and personality. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching Luco T Podcast. Bye.